Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I'd like to welcome you to my three-article review. I've got three articles I'd like to talk about and review them. Before I do it, I would like to let you know this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is investing.com, and the story by investing.com. Now to the headline. TSMC shifts focus to Japan amid Arizona plant challenges. Here we can see a picture, says copyright Reuters, Robinhood slumps on abrupt slowdown in retail trading. Not sure what that has to do with this, but the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is one of the world's largest leading chip manufacturers and is reportedly considering expanding its operations in Japan due to ongoing staffing issues at the Arizona facility. The company is currently constructing an $8.6 billion chip-making hub on the island of Kyushu, which is expected to begin production of mature technology chips in 2024. Industry insiders suggest that TSMC may further increase capacity and add a second fabrication plant or fab in Japan. The Arizona plant, which was initially slated to commence production in 2024, has faced a delay until 2025 due to a shortage of skilled workers. This has led TSMC to consider alternatives for its manufacturing diversification strategy. Japan, with its network of chip equipment and materials suppliers, easy to deal with government, and work culture similar to Taiwan's, has emerged as an attractive option for the company. TSMC's confidence in Japan as a manufacturing base is growing despite the fact that costs in Japan are anticipated to be higher than in Taiwan. However, these costs are considered favorable when compared to the U.S., where investment expenses have proven to be 50% higher than initial estimates. An estimated TSMC would bolster Japan's effort to regain its status as a chip manufacturing powerhouse and support its automotive and electronic industries. And here we see a video which you can watch time of publishing about this about a related issue here. Now, on Monday, TSMC received an approval from the Taiwanese government for $4.5 billion investment in its Arizona facility. The funds will be used for working capital expenses through its subsidiary, TSMC Arizona. The approval follows a board meeting held by TSMC in August, during which the capital injection was approved. Despite the challenges at the Arizona site, TSMC continues its effort to install advanced chip manufacturing machines at the plant. The facility is designed to manufacture chips at TSMC's N4 semiconductor technology process node, part of the company's 5-nanometer semiconductor family. TSMC also announced last December plans to add a second factory to the Arizona site, which would enable it to build 3-nanometer chips by 2026. Which that sounds quite sizable. They're getting better. Just in case you guys don't know, a nanometer. So you know what a length of a meter is, right? It's 3.2 feet. Okay. Now the word nano, so you have mega, which is million, giga, which is billion. Excuse me. Nano, which is billion. So you have in terms of length, and you have in terms of storage. So the word nano refers to billion in terms of length. Yeah, it's not the width because you can see the chip. It's the chip. You can see the IC, the overall board itself. This one is 5 nanometers, which is 5 over a billion of a meter. Okay, so if it's 5 over 5, it's a meter. 5 over a billion, that's 1/billionth of a meter. quite so small you can't even see with your own eyes. So extremely small. Just keep in mind what they're talking about now is a 3 nanometer IC, which is a chip, which is otherwise known in the category of semiconductors. Now, on Monday, TSMC approval for the Taiwanese government for its $4.5 billion investment in the Arizona facilities. The funds were used by working capital expenses through its subsidiary TSMC Arizona. The approval follows a board meeting by TSMC in August, during which a capital injection was approved. Now, despite the challenges at the Arizona site, TSMC continues its efforts to install advanced chip manufacturing sites at the plant. The facility is designed to manufacture chips on TSMC's N4 semiconductor technology process, now a part of the company's 5 nanometer semiconductor family. So then, which is what they're making now. TSMC also announced last December plans to add a second factory to the Arizona site, which enable it to build 3 nanometer chips. So we're talking even smaller, which is pretty amazing. That's by 2026. US, Japan, and Germany have all offered TSMC billions of dollars in subsidies to support the construction of new fabs. However, the company's recent experiences and future plans suggest that Japan may be gaining an edge over its rivals as a favored location for TSMC's overseas manufacturing operations. And just as a disclaimer, this article was generated by the support of AI and reviewed by an editor. For more information, see our TNC. Now, at the end of the review, I'll ask you what you think of these 3 articles in terms of your opinion. For now, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the second article. This is also relating to technology. So, as I would like to let you know, just like the first article, I say this with every single article that I review, and I talk about. The purpose of this review is this article review is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article, as these are different articles that will have a separate disclaimer. So, the full credit to the intellectual property, meaning the article itself, goes to the publisher, which in this case is Global Data, and the story by Danny Cole. Sorry. Now, to the article. Headline reads, Polyplastics announced a new heat-resistant material for EV batteries. And you can kind of see how it's layered to work. Okay. Now, if we click on it, we can see it's a picture of a Polyplastics. Now, Japanese manufacturing, the Polyplastics Group, or Polyplastics, has announced a high-performance material that it says offers heat resistance to thermal insulation properties for the EV lithium-ion batteries. The firm says that Durified, says parentheses R PPS 61502 0T73, quote, significantly improves, unquote, thermoelectric insulation properties during thermal runaway without the use of inorganic insulative sheet structures. The material maintains the insulation properties of bus bars and module covers after being left in the environment of 1000 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. So if you do the math on that, the benefit of people who don't use Celsius, what the way to convert that to Fahrenheit, what you do is you take that degree Celsius, in which case this is 1000, multiplied by 1.8, or 9 over 5, which is 1.8. Then you add 32. So what we're talking about is 1800 plus 32. That's 1832 degrees Fahrenheit. Though rare, EV batteries fires can pose serious risks, as they've been difficult to extinguish and in some instances damage battery packs and have been known to reignite weeks after the fire has occurred. Excessive heat is caused by thermal runaway, wherein a battery enters an uncomfortable self-heating state. During a thermal runaway event, lithium-ion cell can reach temperatures of 800 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius. As a safety measure, structural and insulative sheets and plates have been previously used to reduce energy transfers from one cell to another. However, they increase weight and consume space. Polyplastics say that in addition to greater heat resistance, purified (R) PPS 615 T7 6150 T73 has optimal properties for components such as module covers and bus bars. And they conclude by saying Polyplastics announces a new heat-resistant material for EV, meaning electric vehicles. Batteries are originally created and published by Just Auto, a global data owned brand. As the last part is a disclaimer for the article. Okay. Let's go to the third article here. Before I read the third article, as usual, I will give my disclaimer here. The review of this article is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit of the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is Science Alert, and a story by Michelle Starr, if I have pronounced her name correctly. Now to the headline of the article. Dark photons could explain one of the universe's greatest mysteries. And here, we see a picture. Copyright provided by the Science Alert. Dark photons could explain one of the universe's greatest mysteries. You guys might have heard of dark matter. Well, this is dark photons. So let me explain what they're referring to in this article. A shadowy form of light within the universe of hypothetical particles is getting more serious consideration as means of discovering the identity of dark matter, as I just mentioned. According to a comprehensive new analysis under quantum chromodynamics, the dark photon is much better fit for the observed results of particle collider experiments than the standard model of particle physics by quite a wide margin. In fact, a team of researchers led by physicist Nicholas Hunt Smith of the ARC Center for Excellence of Dark Matter Particle Physics in the University of Adelaide in Australia calculated a confidence level of 6.5 sigma, suggesting the odds of dark photons don't explain the observations are in the ballpark of 1 in a billion. Quote, the existence of dark matter has been firmly established from its gravitational interactions, yet its precise nature continues to elude us despite the best efforts of physicists around the world, unquote, says Anthony Thomas, a physicist at the University of Adelaide. Quote, the key to understanding the mystery could lie within the dark photon, a theoretical massive particle that may serve as a portal between the dark sector particles and irregular matter. Dark matter is one of the greatest mysteries of the universe. We don't know what it is, but there is something out there about having a gravitational effect on normal matter. Galaxies rotate faster than they should if they were just stuck with normal particles. The path of light bends around massive objects more pronouncedly than it should, just based on the gravity generated matter. And that probably is because whatever they thought of how things work is not how they work. So, sort of using the wrong explanation to explain something because you have the wrong understanding and using the wrong formula. At the time of the publishing, you'll be able to access this video, which you'll be able to see more of. Now, there are a number of candidates for dark matter out there, but we've yet to identify it. And its standard model is a help. Really, it's great for physics of particles of normal matter, but it hasn't yet been able to provide accounting for dark matter. One possibility is the hypothetical dark photons are involved somehow. Just as normal photons are a force carrier for electromagnetism, which is light, dark photons could connected to dark matter. Excuse me. Hunt Smith and his colleagues at the University of Adelaide and Jefferson Lab in the U.S. investigated the products of particle collisions to search for evidence of these elusive particles. Quote, in our latest study, Thomas says, quote, we examined the potential effects that a dark photon could have on the complete set of experimental results from the deep inelastic scattering process, unquote. Deep inelastic scattering refers to a specific way that particles can scatter following a high-energy collision. Using data from a number of particle colliders, the researchers explore the possibility that dark photons play a subtle role in the way particles diverge following an impact. The article goes on to say that they also included a particle from the other, they also included a particle forward in the side of the standard model, the muon magnetic anomaly. Measurements of the way the muon jiggles in a strong magnetic field disagrees with standard model predictions by 3 to 4 standard deviations, hinting at the activity of forces yet to be studied. They found that introducing the possibility of dark photon not only increases the preference for the dark photons as a candidate, it significantly reduces the muon magnetic anomaly. Quote, we have made use of the state-of-the-art Jefferson Lab angulatory momentum, or JAM parton distribution function global analysis framework, identifying the underlying theory to allow for the possibility of a dark photon, Thomas says. Quote, our work shows that the dark photon hypothesis is preferred over the standard model hypothesis at the significance of 6.5 sigma, which constitutes evidence for a particle discovery, unquote. While considerable work remains before we can claim dark photons exist, the researchers hope their findings will persuade other anomaly researchers to check their sums of rays of light beyond the standard model. Research has been published on the Journal of High Energy Physics. And that concludes that article. Now, I will pose the question to the audience here. What do you think of these three articles? Namely, the first one, which is TSMC shifts focus to Japan amid Arizona plant challenges. Number 2, Polyplastics announces new heat-resistant material for EV batteries. And number 3, dark photons could explain one of the universe's great mysteries. Now, you're welcome to give your opinion of all three of those articles in general or separately. Just keep in mind that the rules for making comments giving your opinion in the comments below. Number 1 is no derogatory language. We're trying to keep this thematic and add something positive and constructive to this, to what we're doing. Okay. Number 2, no threatening language. And when I say threatening language, I mean physically threatening. I'm not talking about if you add coffee and chocolate, you get mocha. Well, if you do this, you're going to get that. No, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about physical threats. Okay. I'm not talking about factually, science. If you do X, add X and Y, Z. I'm talking about making physical threats. Okay. That goes against what we're trying to do here. Not only that, but it's illegal. Will not be tolerated as that's a liability for me. If a user in the comments below is found to violate either one of the rules, it'll be permanently banned. Okay? That's fair because everything has rules, and that's one of the rules that not just me, but almost any sane content provider would have. Content creator. Okay, now, I would like to thank you for watching this article's review. I would like to let you know that I'm doing this for you guys to be. When I say, by the way, I'm using this in colloquial saying when I say you guys. I'm not talking about just men or boys. I'm talking about people as a plural form, okay? So I'm doing it for the audience here, if I want to be more precise. I'm doing it for the audience to be informed about what's happening in the world. And I'm only taking what's already in the public domain and giving full credit to the publisher that's created it. My purpose is not to take credit, but my purpose is to give full credit to the publisher and the author, and just inform people what's happening in the news so they be informed and benefit by it. So what I'd like for you to do is please click like, which is the thumbs up on the video, as I'll have this uploaded on YouTube and Rumble. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all of my videos on my channel, as I do have a variety of content. Not only articles, we have business topics. We also have gaming as well, so that is on this channel. Also, if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. would again like to thank you for watching this video. I'd like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world.